And welcome to the West Coast Madden Podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11, and with me as always is Trey.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yes, we are back. We are back like we never left. I, I, I kind of want to like one of these days, like when we get better, I'd like to have like a better intro where, we maybe get some like turn up music at the beginning, and then we have like a more energetic intro going on. But anyways, I hope you guys are staying safe out there
Whoa,
during this.
whoa, hold on. So you saying we're not energetic enough? Is that what you're saying?
Nah, we are, but yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to do, music where it was our own. So you better write up some raps, bro.
Yeah, if there's any like artists out there that could maybe write a song for the podcast, that'd be kind of awesome. Maybe that could be like a little competition. If someone could write like a little intro song, to the podcast, that'd be kind of cool.
I'm an inner, bro. I'm an inner,
I'm
bro.
an enter. All right, for sure. But yeah, no, I hope you guys are staying safe out there during this crazy time. Let me know in the chat how's it going in your area and how you're trying to keep from going insane during this time. But so the random question of today's stream is that we all know that the Madden community has their own lingo, dot, user, and all that. But what I want to know from the chat and from the comment section is, what is your favorite like slang word that the Madden community has? Me personally, I think it's dot is my favorite, but I mean they're all pretty good. But Shane, what's your favorite out of the lingo of the community? But
This game's so bad. I get cheated. no, no, I like
that's a
Dot
good
too,
one.
bro. I like Dot too. Nicholas, maybe down the road, bro, we'll let you do a guest appearance. That's how we'll
Yeah,
do it down the road. We'll do guest appearances. But yeah, I mean, they do cry a lot. But I like Dot, bro. I like Dot.
yeah, Yika's a good one, but I feel like that's more of like an older school terminology. It's not really used a whole lot these days,
Nicholas
but
likes
yeah,
user.
yeah. But I mean, we've been gone for quite a long time. I mean, since we've been gone, there's been a lot of trades that we really haven't been able to talk about. But I mean, what is going on? I mean, you have DeAndre Hopkins going to the Cardinals for basically nothing. I mean, it's not 2016. Maybe Bill O'Brien thinks that it was 2016 when David Johnson was good. But I mean, Tom Brady gonna be in a different jersey. That still hasn't really clicked with me. It still seems kind of crazy, like it's a dream. But
I told you. I told you, bro.
and I didn't want to believe it. I mean, and I'm a Patriots fan, but it's like, I mean, because I knew that he couldn't be happy with the weapons that he had on offense. But I don't know, because with Broncos he's gonna have a better team on offense, but the defense isn't gonna be there.
The
And
Buccaneers.
yeah, the Buck. What did I say before?
Broncos.
Oh, Broncos. You know what I mean. The Buccaneers, but I mean the defense just isn't gonna be there. And that's one thing I'll say for Brady is that he's probably the greatest quarterback of all time. Um, but I mean he's always had a solid defense on his side. The offense of weapons he had not so good. He's only had two Hall of Fame level receivers, Gronk and Randy Moss, but the defense has been solid. I mean I started watching when they had Teddy Bruschi, Ty Law, those types of players. But I mean the defense was pretty nasty, so Shane, first I'm gonna give you a tough question. So do you think that it's because I know the chats, this is like one of those 50-50 topics, but do you think that it was Tom Brady or Bill Belichick that, do you think that Belichick was responsible for most of Brady's success And B, how do you think he's going to do in Tampa Bay?
Okay, so to answer the first question is, I think it was a little bit of both. I don't think it was as one-sided, but I still personally think that it was a little bit more Bill, and I think he will make the playoffs with Buccaneers. But my opinion is he will have an excuse, fans, himself, or whatever, that he's too old, blah blah blah. We knew this, blah blah blah. That's what I think will happen. So I think he's playing the safe bet that if he screws up, he can rest on, well, he's old now. And I think he had the plan to do it. I think I read an article that he was the one who planned on doing it from the get-go. I think a couple years ago when he when he talked to Kraft and Belichick. So I definitely think that he had a plan. That's at least my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, for me, I always think that, and a lot of Patriots fans, which I don't agree with, are saying, F Belichick and, all that. But, I mean, the thing with Belichick, though, is that Robert Kraft is, in my opinion, he's the one that's solely responsible for killing the franchise. Because he's like one of those owners, like, the kind of owners that just because they have a bank account big enough to buy a football team. And I mean, the owners, like, to me, are just like glorified fanboys. Like, I mean, that would be like if I bought a hospital because I have enough money and I just started telling everybody how to do surgery and that sort of thing. So, but I mean, you say that they're going to make the playoffs, the Buccaneers will.
I don't think they were that. I don't think they were that far off, bro. Were they that far off last year?
Yeah, that's true.
And Brady's still better than Winston.
Yeah. I mean, and Winston, like, I mean, there's good teams. I feel like quarterbacks get a lot of crap. I mean, because I feel like, because not everyone can have a Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's why I was kind of excited that San Francisco made it as far as they did, because they were a defensive team. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback, but nobody will probably say that he's like a top tier quarterback. So, and I mean, and I'm a Kirk Cousins fan, like for the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is good, Gardner Minshew and that sort of thing. But I mean, the days of winning a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer was he the quarterback that won
with
for
Baltimore?
The Ravens with Baltimore a while back. So.
Yeah, but like Nicholas said, Brady's got Mike Evans and Chris. Is it Godwin? I believe.
Yeah, Chris Godwin. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, he definitely has good enough players to be good. But the Seahawks, man, the Seahawks have some good new players. My only worry is they need to get either Clowney or Nganwa, or however you say his name.
Right.
But right now the Seahawks are looking good again, man. I pick them to make the Super Bowl. That's my early prediction.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that the NFC as a whole, conference was a bit of a disappointment. Because if you look at the line of NFC, there's really no team that could have beat the Niners.
No, that's why it was
Minnesota.
crazy. Seahawks were close. Seahawks were close. They went 1-1 against them and lost at the goal line. I actually think if Seahawks beat Green Bay, Seahawks beat San Fran, and I'm not joking you at all.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle does get the better of San Fran most of the times, but
San Fran has a better team.
Yeah, well, I think that has to do with the fact that it's a divisional game. But the Eagles or the Saints or the Packers, I don't think none of them could have beat San Fran. Is what I'm trying to say. But
No, I don't think so either. I just, like, I mean, I don't want to dwell on things, but I just think, like, Drew Brees is whatever.
Drew Brees. I mean, everyone likes Drew Brees, but I mean, it's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers signed that big 4-year deal, and he's been kind of, not doing that good lately.
Well, the
So
problem is the QB takes up usually like 25 to 30% of the salary. And what Brady did that was smart is after a couple contracts, he realized, look, I have a wife that makes more money than me. I make a lot of money
yeah,
anyways. I'd rather win, so I'll take a pay cut and, try to make my team better. And it worked out for him. 6 Super Bowls, considered the greatest of all time. So, I mean, it worked out. Other players aren't going to do that, though. I wish Russell Wilson would have done that. But, I mean,
yeah.
I don't think people do that.
Russell. Yeah. Well, I mean, Russell Wilson is definitely worth it. I, I feel like the Seahawks might as well be called the Seattle Russell Wilsons. Like, is that fair to say, or fair?
For the last couple years, I will agree. I will
Yeah.
fully agree. And plus, the thing that sucks is, like, when the Seahawks lost in New England on the 1-yard line, right?
Right.
I knew it was over.
Yeah.
The defense thought they were the greatest of all time. The defense thought they were the greatest of all time, and they were. Look, they set records in this 4-year period, and in a pro offensive league, but they gave up 10 points or 14 points, to Brady in the last 7 minutes of the game. Now, the argument could be Seahawks had a lot of injuries, and they had a lot of injuries during the game, but I knew right when Russell Wilson threw the pick, the dynasty was over, and I was correct.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be correct,
and you were correct.
but I knew it. Yeah, I just knew it.
Okay, so let me ask you this, like, how did you react though? I mean, initially you probably thought, but I guess over time, I mean, do you still think that it was kind of like as people, it's kind of become a meme now. It's like, oh, Seattle didn't pass the ball, but looking back on it, like, do you think that it was kind of as bad as people made it? Because I feel like, they could have I feel like it was a good play by Malcolm Butler.
Okay, so if you watch the videos, and I don't know if you did, Trey, Bill Belichick knew that play and knew the formation.
They practiced for it.
And Malcolm Butler got burned multiple times during practice. Brandon Browner actually told him during the game on that play that the play was coming and told him which position to be in. It is all about execution. To me, like the play, like I would have ran it with Marshawn Lynch, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But the play call wasn't as bad as people think in the sense. I would not have put Jermaine Kearse, who's I believe 6'2", 210, on Brandon Browner, who's 6'4", 230, and considered one of the most physical cornerbacks in the league at the time, to block. I would have put maybe a tight end. Maybe like a Luke Wilson at the time to get into him. But you know what, though, is I wouldn't have had Ricardo Lockett, the 5th wide receiver. I would have done Chris Matthews. He has a wider frame of body. He was 6'5". It's probably a touchdown instead of Ricardo Lockett. If I recall, Ricardo Lockett was 6'3", 6'2", and Chris Matthews was 6'5". I'm going to verify it right now to see how correct I am right there. I just think Russ could have thrown a little bit of a better ball. Ricardo Lockett should have put his hands differently and maybe had a different guy blocking Brandon Browner. But to me, I just knew it was over. I felt it. I knew it. Okay, so you have 6'2" Ricardo Lockett going for it. Okay. So Chris Matthews, I'm going to look that up. 6'5", 230. You see the difference? 3 inches and 20 pounds.
Right.
Like, I just think it was like I would have used a different. I would have ran it, but if I run the play, I probably would have had I would have had a bigger bodied wide receiver going for the ball.
Right. And I mean, and I think one of the most priceless like reactions in Super Bowl history is when that pick happened. When that pick happened, and then Richard Sherman like was like, "What?"
Yeah,
I mean that was pretty classic. But
they hated each other though. The defense and offense didn't like each other. I mean, they liked Marshawn Lynch because, I mean, Marshawn Lynch is like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, he's not a square. I'll say that.
right.
And Russell Wilson's squarish. And the defense was all bravado. Like, you know who was actually not like a square, but a quiet guy that probably the defense would have hated on if he wouldn't have could have kicked their ass. Excuse me on that. Is Cam Chancellor.
Yeah. I still think, Michael Bennett, like he's not Walter Payton Man of the Year, like he's not that type of player, but he's a free, like I'll say this, like he's a stud, like he can be like a bad person, but like on the field, I mean that guy's a monster, like for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's rough. It was rough ending. I knew it was done. I knew they would start fighting each other. Like, they almost got in a fight when they went to Hawaii to get together. I mean, it is what it is. And in the end, Seahawks fans got a Super Bowl out of it.
I mean, seeing Harbaugh, who's but I mean that whole like Harbaugh and Pete Carroll rivalry. I mean that was pretty fun to watch. I mean, especially like when Kaepernick was doing his thing back when he was in his prime, and like that kind of matchup. I mean, those were fun times to watch.
Oh, it was awesome, and you know, I do think the Seahawks win one more Super Bowl with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson, but they're not going to win 3 or 4 like people were hoping. They're just not. Maybe one more. I think one more. But real quick, just so you guys know, the podcast has changed from 5 p.m. to 4 p.m., so it'll be every 4 p.m. on Thursdays. So it'll be 4 p.m. now Pacific time on Thursdays.
Yeah. Got to make sure we bring that in there as well. So, but did you see? I believe it was the Pat McAfee. It was like the Marshawn Lynch interview that he did where he was talking about the play, and he said that like I guess a lot of people didn't like Pete Carroll or whatever. Like, do you think that Pete like do you like Pete as a head coach, or do you think he's whatever to you?
Okay, so I like Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
I think he's a little rigid in his offensive thinking, but he's also won the most games besides, I believe, before last year, Bill Belichick. The funny thing is my brother and I got in this debate. He said the players hate Russell Wilson and love Pete Carroll, and I said, you don't know that. And then it comes out that basically they didn't care for Pete Carroll or Russ. And it was all kosher when they were winning and making Super Bowls. But when the cracks started showing, Michael Bennett, Pete Carroll was boring. I was reading books during the coach speak or whatever. Richard Sherman wanted to fight Russell Wilson. And stuff like that. I just think, and then I think another guy said Pete Carroll's good for college because he's fun and all the rah-rah, but after a while they get, it's old. They're grown-ups. It's not fun anymore. But to me, honestly, I personally believe that it was going to happen no matter what. There will be a 30 for 30 about the Seattle Seahawks. Trust me down the road. When Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson are in their or when Russell is retired and Pete Carroll's maybe dead or old, super old, there will be a 30 for 30 talking about what happened to the Seahawks behind the scenes. And the person that leaked it to to reporters about the locker room and all that stuff most likely was Richard Sherman per a lot of players and per a lot of reports out there. And basically, once they lost, they turned on each other. I mean, they didn't even care. They didn't even care about. They didn't even care about each other when they were winning. Really, that's the only issue to me.
Yeah, I mean those 30 for 30 videos are pretty fun to watch. I mean it's kind of off topic, but I was watching. I think it was something. It was about like the Celtics versus the Lakers in the '80s. I think Ice Cube was the one narrating it, but I mean those 30 for 30 videos are pretty well put together.
Oh no, they are. I watched the one with Tupac and Mike Tyson. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah.
They did that one without bias. That was a really good one. Actually, I've watched a lot of them. I can't remember all of them right now, but I really like them. Musical Duke, I am on PS4. I'm not on Xbox. I'm on PS4.
How do you feel about? I mean, since we're on the topic, how do you feel about? Because I think did you see like I guess they leaked like the supposed PS4 controllers that are going to be coming out, and they look kind of weird.
Ugly.
Yeah, they look pretty ugly, but I mean it's like one of those things where it's like you're just like loyal and you don't like to change from like your regular brand of things, so it's like routine. So you probably would just go with the PlayStation anyway for when they come out soon.
Well, the thing is when people are rigid and stuck in their way.
Yeah.
Which is kind of me. I'm going to be honest. It bugs them. Humans are used to routine. They're used to doing the same thing over and over and over. That's why, if you read behind Groundhog's Day, the movie, that was a point with the director. But anyways, I think it looks bad. I think it looks ugly, but it might help me. It'll be bigger for my hands and all that stuff. So, I mean, it'll take some time getting used to it. But, I mean, yeah, this will be the last time all the tournaments for Madden will be on PS4 and Madden 21. Madden 22 will be PS5.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about because me, like, and I know Shane, you didn't really play like a lot of the earlier days of like online gaming when it was like Xbox 360 and that sort of thing. But I mean, back then, I mean, Xbox 360 like online was king. Like, I mean, PS3 did have online, but it was like free to use and it wasn't that good. So, but I mean, I just picked like PS4 like when I did start getting back into it, and I just been with them ever since. I kind of like the Xbox controller more than the PS4 controller a little bit. Like, it's like a better fit for me, but I never really had any issues with the PS4 as a whole. So
yeah, I wish the pro players would have stayed on Xbox instead of all of them coming to PS4. Some were on
right.
Xbox, some were on PS4 from the get go, but now all the pro players, most of them are on the PS4. Some have both. But a lot of them do PS4. You know what I would have done, though, honestly, since we're on this topic real quick, is if I'm a pro, I would have both consoles. I should go out and buy both consoles, because then you have two chances of qualifying. Unless that's against the rules, but I don't think so.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Madden should do a better job of that down the road. I mean, we talk a lot about, like lurk accounts and, how they're bad for Madden and all that. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I still feel like, like if you weren't good enough to qualify, then you don't deserve to be in there. So,
Yeah, I agree, but
Yeah.
it's crazy how certain people are better. My bad. I accidentally bumped it out.
Oh, it's okay. But
Hold on really quick.
all right.
Nicholas, I'm going to answer because we only have 45 minutes per podcast. I'm going to make it real quick, so I'm going to answer a couple things. Nicholas,
All right.
I know a couple people voted no on to stream my games. I know who they are. They're semi pros that are weirdos. I know who's doing it. Um, Little Red, yeah, weekend league players and salary cap pros are different. I'll agree on that. Most honestly, I'll tell you this right now, Little Red. So far, the weekend league players that qualify for the tournaments get eliminated right away than the salary cap pros.
That's facts too. And I mean, and I like K-Mac. I think K-Mac's a good person overall. I think he has a good stream and that sort of thing, but he's a weekend league player. He's a MUT player. He's not salary cap head to head and that sort of thing. So
Yeah,
but
well, no, that's what I, sorry, I was
yeah.
replying. That
Oh, it's okay.
Obi-Wan Shikobi.
Shanegotyou11
Yeah,
I. That's
he's
his name.
decent, but he
Yeah.
also does salary cap at the same time, though, Little Red. The main weekend league players that were on PS4 and a couple on Xbox got eliminated right away this year, and they got eliminated last year. And in MUT Draft, they get eliminated even quicker. And the reason why is because Weekend League is, I believe, you guys can say I'm wrong, I believe it's unlimited cap. Is that true or not?
Yeah, it's unlimited MUD and weekend league.
Yeah,
So you can have all 99s, yeah.
and a lot of them get eliminated. Nicholas, how do I know who they are? Because, bro, I know. I'm telling you, I know. I know who they are. They're Soccer Ball and D Rose and them. And the reason why is because they drop in my podcast and they've written me and say, "Oh, nice podcast," and try to mock me, even though they have like 500 tops people in their streams and only 500 followers total, and I have over 2K. I don't really care. I just know that they're doing that, and it's pretty obvious because they used to blow me up on PS4 and be like, "Oh, I see you only had 3 people in the podcast. Oh, I only see you had 4 or 5 people in the podcast." And nobody wants to see you. Nobody cares. I know who they are, bro. But yeah, Shikobi's a pretty good player, man. He also has a good crew. He has a good crew too.
Did you know that Jacoby's from Spokane as well?
He's not. I didn't think he was Spokane. I thought he was a little.
I know he's from like the same kind of general area.
He's from Washington, isn't he? In the middle of Washington.
Yeah, something like that. But he's pretty close though. But he's an Xbox player, so he.
Little Red, do you feel more connection to Gut Fox than me because my view of Matt is more based on Unlimited? Whereas you are more of a salary cap tournament grinder. That's not my style, Matt. I mean, whatever floats your boat, Little Red. I mean, I'm not going to take offense to it. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I only do salary cap for tournaments. I'm not really a MUT player anyways. I like regs better from the get-go. But I'm going to do it where I can make tournaments. I'm just saying weekend league players, maybe besides like Shikobi and maybe K-Mac, the rest get eliminated right away. That's why in the tournaments they changed it and made top weekend league players bottom of the ranking now. So like if you're first or second on the ranking in weekend league, you're going to be bottom seeds in the tournament. So if there's like for example like MUT Draft, there was top 96 went and then top 28 or top 32 went in weekend league for 128. they were like, if one seed versus 128, the 128 and 127, they were the weekend league players. So EA thinks weekend league players are worse than salary cap or mud draft players in overall, not individual, but overall they believe salary cap players and mud draft players are better than weekend leaguers, and that's why they changed the ranking up. That's not my opinion anyway. That's not my opinion anyway. That's EA. They put the brackets out that way. I mean, if you have weekend league players that are ranked number 1 or 2, and EA thinks that they're better than salary cap players or mud draft players, you would have them seeded 1, 2, or 3, not 128, 127, 126, 125, 124. So yes, they can be as good. There are players like Shanegotyou11 and K-Mac that are really, really good weekend league players that go deep. But I'm just saying how EA bases it off of. That's just not my opinion. It's how EA goes off
Yeah,
of it.
it's how they base the tournaments off of. Yeah.
But yeah, real quick, we got about 10 minutes left. The poll last week, and then it got canceled, but the poll last week was, why do we miss sports? So Trey, since I put the question up, why do you think people miss sports so much across the world? And then I'll give my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think sports in general are a great thing for this country. I think that's first and foremost. I feel like sports, just are a great thing for this country as a whole. And I mean, like, like football and baseball and all of that. I think it's fun to watch, and it's like, watching like professional athletes, like people that are at the highest level of their sport, like, go at it head to head. I think that's a big thing, and I've always been, into sports. I played sports and, watched sports and all that. So I think that's the big thing. So.
One of my biggest things is what I believe sports does is it brings people together that would never be together or never hang out or never be part of a team than anything. What Tom Brady said when he penned it to the Players Tribune is something that I really agree on and believe on, is that a lot of players don't see race. A lot of players don't see the politics. A lot of players don't care what religion you are, because you're all about winning. And so, let's just say, and I'm not trying to get into politics or religion here, but let's just say I'm a diehard Republican or diehard Democrat, and, I've never been around a person of a different race than me, different, whether they're straight or gay. I'm missing the word. I apologize. But when you bring them all together, if I'm rooting for the Seahawks and we're in the stadium, we're all together as one. Just like the players are all together as one. We kind of just mix in and become a melting pot, which we should, and most people should, not look at you because of what you look like or what you believe in, and just get to know you as a person, and you get a lot of excitement. And I believe, and Matt's right, he says sports gives people hopes and something to believe in. I fully agree. It's like a movie, a great movie or a great TV show. You get away from reality for a few hours, and a lot of sports fanatics like me are empty right now, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, no Mariners, no March Madness, no UFC fights. Well, now there might be one for UFC, but anyways, no NFL right now. Like, right now, usually around this time, if the weather is permitting, I'd be playing basketball outside. I mean, sports just gives you a way to get away from reality, and if you're a huge sports fan, this is a big blow. It's a big blow right now for a lot of people. So, yeah, I think people miss sports because of all kinds of things. What Trey said, what Matt said. And then, like, at least my opinion, it brings people together. I mean, you should have seen some of my teams that I played on. All kinds of different people. But in the end, man, we sweated together, we grinded together, we won and we lost together. And it makes you feel young again. But yeah, that's why I believe we miss sports right now. Trey, do you have anything else to say, or can we get to questions from the chat?
The only thing really I have left to say is golden tickets are out. So, and I was gonna ask you too, Shane. I don't know if I guess maybe for the fun of it, as we close it out, maybe rip open like a few packs on stream and maybe see if you can blow the roof off the stream. And I mean, if you luckily pull a golden ticket, we'll get the views. So.
Well, you know what I was gonna do since you said that. What I was gonna do is possibly next week I was gonna rip some big packs open. Right now, unfortunately, I can't. I mean,
Okay.
I don't have it right now. But next week, the plan was possibly to do it, depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, possibly. Anyone have anything in the chat they want to say or ask any questions before we end this podcast? It is 72 degrees out where I am, man. It is hot. I can't wait till everything gets back to normal. No lie.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. If nobody has anything to say, we will close out the podcast. So from now on, you guys, it'll be 4 p.m. every Thursday. So be prepared to come join us there. Until next time, you guys, I'm Shanegotyou11. With me, as always, is Trey. This was the West Coast Madden Podcast. I appreciate everybody being in here.